for the Week talk show. Are you ready to talk? Let's get deep for the week. Hello, and thank you for watching the Deep for the Week show. I'm your host, Kali, and I just want to start today's show by saying again, thank you for watching. All your feedback and comments and shares and subscriptions for the last few shows that we had. And also I want to give a shout out to my guests that were on my show. They were very transparent so far. I've had some great guests. You guys have really made my day when you showed up and gave your testimony and your transparency and your stories. So again, thank you for my viewers and my guests. And let's continue to get deep, you guys. So today is just me and you, and let's talk about a few things in the news today. Let's talk about the Olympics. How we've been seeing what we think is maybe you want to call some bias and or racism being shown in Paris, not just at the Olympics, but in other parts of Paris. So we are reading that Sha'Carri Richardson and Shelly Ann Frazier Price was denied entrance to the Olympics from what they think is denied entrance to the Olympics because they weren't allowed in the entrance that they were coming in every day. And so they didn't get in at the time they wanted to get in. They did get in, but they didn't get to warm up, which they feel like affected their wins. Shelly Ann Frazier Price, she didn't even run because she hurt herself while warming up. So a lot of people think that she didn't run because of what they experienced at the entrance of the gate, which was called racism. They're saying if they were someone else or of another race from another country, a lighter color, they would have been let in the gate. And so do you guys think that that is true, or are we just being oversensitive in the wrong areas? Because there is room for sensitivity, but sometimes I think as Black people, we tend to get sensitive over the wrong things and we speak up over the wrong things. So, I mean, is that one of them? But I'll elaborate more about the racism that they're saying it's going on in Paris. Also, I didn't get too much info on this, like factual, but I kind of seen it on Facebook that I'm not sure what country, but it was an African country, I'm sure, because all the people were very dark. So they were also a country of people of color, and during the ceremony. Supposedly, they didn't get to board their boat. They were told that their boat was full, and so they didn't get to board, and so they didn't get to do the ceremony. That was one of the first incidents, actually. That's kind of been brushed over. And then the last incident that people are talking about in Paris, like, do I really want to see the Eiffel Tower now? I don't know, because I spent all that money to come out there and they treat me like I'm Black. I'm gonna act Black, but okay. There's also rumor on Twitter X that Serena and her family and her husband, which we know is of a lighter color. I don't know his race, but I do know he's not Black. I think he's Caucasian, of British or something. He's from somewhere. Okay, I think. Don't quote me on that. But her and her kids and her husband were trying to get into a restaurant in Paris and also was denied interest. And she posted this on her Twitter X. So that is true. She posted it with some type of, feeling some type of way. So that was another incident that people are talking about, that's making Paris look a little racist. So I don't know. Have you been to Paris? Did you experience racism when you went to Paris? I know I have a lot of friends that have posted the Eiffel Tower, and they said that Paris is not what people make it out to be as well. But what was your experience in Paris? Have you ever been? Let us know. Anyhow, let's get on some more things. Let's get deeper on race. Let's talk about Kamala. Now, um, this is in the news. It's no like it's not new news, but it is news. Kamala is running now for president. And we're gonna have a whole show on this later on where we have like a roundtable discussion with some Democrats and some Republicans. And I am looking for some more guests, Democrat and Republican, that would like to give their opinions on this situation, on maybe why we should vote, which way we should vote, or and why they feel we should be voting this way. But I personally, when it comes to race, I'm I don't want my people. I am. I don't want to say African American. I'm not. I'm nobody that I know in my family is from Africa, but I'm black. Okay, let's just go there. I'm mixed with a lot of things, so we can go down a list of like 10 things, but all of those are still descendant of not African people, but black people. Okay. Anyhow, we'll get on that another day. We're gonna talk about that on a show. You know, that all black people are not African American, and all black people or all slaves were not from Africa. We're going to have a show and we're going to talk about that in depth because there is a lot of people that need to know more about that as well. So, but let's get back on Kamala. She's not black. Okay? Just like I'm not African American. I have okay, I may have some African American in me, but if we do one of those, which I probably will do it on the show, because a lot of people ask me, what are you mixed with, why is your hair so pretty? It's a real colorism question. Okay, but I get asked a lot, or all kind of things like, oh, you're really pretty to be black or African American. Well, I'm not African American. Okay, if you want to go deep this week, just like Kamala Harrison is not. Okay. If you go to her parents' house right now, I'm pretty sure it does not smell like Lowry's seasoning salt. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't have hot sauce and the things that we use in our culture. Pretty sure it smells like curry and probably like an Indian hotel. I'm pretty sure you've all been to one. Okay. I'm just so she's not black, people. So if we're voting for her, please make sure that your reason is because she does this, she's done that, she's great in this area, I think she's going to do that for us, not because she's black. Because then if that's the case, you're wrong. Okay. And we just have to go there. Like a lot of you probably aren't even really black. It's because you're dark and your hair gets a little tough because it's dry. Doesn't mean you're black. It's you know But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that too. But Kamala, I don't believe is, um, even if she wasn't black, the first female president, I don't think she would be good for us. Okay, I don't even think we're ready to have a female president. Let's And that's coming from a female that wants to be everything in life. I want to be on top. I want to be in charge. I want to be someone's boss. But there's certain things that I know that I'm not capable of doing according to the way I react, according to my censorship, according to a lot of things. Like, I would be more on the Trump side. None of y'all would like me. So like that, meaning the way I talk, I'm not finna sugarcoat shit. I'm not about to beat around the bush because you're Christian and you're gonna be offended or none of that. Like I wouldn't care about those things. And so yeah, Kamala is pretending to care about those things, and I don't think she really does. She was a horrible DA in California. She doesn't have great morality, and so I just hope that there's a lot of people on my Facebook that are like, "What?" They're shocked to hear me being from the ghetto. The ghetto, I'm talking about the real ghetto, like police chasing motherfuckers in my backyard. Um, brother being a doughboy, seeing dope cooked in my living room. I mean, in my kitchen, while my mama at work, crackheads knocking on the door to get served. I'm really from the ghetto. Okay. So, but I'm still not for her because her hair texture is a little thick. She not black, y'all. So we're gonna talk about that on the show. We're gonna get deep in because a lot of people want to know my views on that, and I was like, we're just gonna talk about that on the show. I remember posting on my Facebook, and it had tons of comments. You guys were commenting on that for 3-4 days. I had kind of like tapped out, and you guys were still going in, and it's kind of sad to see how easily manipulated my people are. Like, she can go eat and chill with y'all and y'all like, oh yeah, she got my vote. And I just think that I'm gonna wrap this Kamala shit up in a minute. But the last thing that I want to say about her is she's insulting. She's insulting because if she really was really black, she would not have had Meg the Stallion perform for her. You know, like there's Lauryn Hill, there is Queen Latifah, there is MC Light. There's so many prolific rappers that have made a great name for themselves. Not to say that Megan the Stallion, I like her. What I'm saying, I represent or I definitely can appreciate where she's come from and where she's trying to go. She still got some ways to go though. And so like you don't have her represent anything, and they're like, so if you become president, there's going to be tons of little girls that look up to you and they're going to remember, oh, that you support behavior of someone like Megan Thee Stallion. And that's just not, I'm not feeling that. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had my twerking days, my and don't get me wrong, I still have those days. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not meant to be a president. You know what I'm saying? I still have my days where I'm in the mood to act just as nasty and twerk out and do, stick my tongue out and twerk on the motherfucker like Megan. So it's like, let's just be real like that, and if we're not, then you don't need to be in that position. And I definitely I said that last thing was the last thing, but this is probably the last thing if I can't think of nothing else, because there's so much bad shit about her. But yeah, like when she did that, she might as well like had it made it a real black function, had barbecue, watermelon, greens, neck bones, hot sauce. I mean, that's how I looked at it. Like fried chicken, where was all of that? You met, because that's how insulting it was to me. Like you do anything for our vote, including like, but like really you should have like Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg if you're gonna do some shit. She's not a legend yet either. So yeah, that was just horrible. And yeah. So again, when you get ready to vote, think about all that. That's who you're voting for. She's ego driven, and yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. Even why Democrats kind of need to give it up for a little while, and we need to probably look on the more Republican side. I probably will lose tons of black followers, because Biden got y'all thinking if you're not black, if you don't vote for me. You remember he said that stupid shit? Okay, well, I guess I'm not black. I just told y'all though, I'm not African American. So, okay. So, we're going to have a whole show. I didn't damn near have one by myself, but we're going to have a show that further talks about that, because I do think that we need to be educated a little more on how to vote. We vote as black people. We vote with our heart. Like we vote with shit like, oh, they're black, they're female, or they came to our town and, they look like us, or they smoked weed, so they act like us. All the stuff that they kind of look like. That's why we voted for Clinton, because we thought that he hit the joint. Like seriously, the way they get us is just beyond me. I'm glad that I'm not a sheep. I'm glad I'm smarter than that. I'm glad that I know better than that. And I've never been, if they had like a yearbook section for who's not like the most, they out of it. I'd have been right there, because like half of y'all don't like me because I've always been this way. I've always been this way, and I'm always be this way, So yeah, I don't get it, and I never will get that. So we're gonna have a show that further elaborates on that with people that have an opposed opinion to mine. And I do want to hear others' opinions on her. Maybe someone has something good to tell me about her, other than, because my image of her my last image of her is her on the red carpet with a whole nother bitch, like, with Montel Williams. And me being in the sex industry, I know what that was. Come on now. When they went home, do you think they all got in 3 separate beds? That's all I'm saying. That's going to be your president if you vote for her. So I also want to do a show on some other things. Let's talk about some stuff that I want to do shows on. And if you want to be a guest on that show when we talk about, the all that politics and stuff like that, then comment below and let me know. I'd like to be you can be a show on the show remotely. You don't have to be here. We are in Detroit. Most of you do know that I am from LA, but I'm now here in Detroit. But we can hook you up to where you are here remotely on our show, and you can be heard just as well and seen. And if you don't want to be seen, you can be just heard as well. So let me know if you'd like to be a guest on that show. Some other topics that we're going to have is guys, why don't you take no for an answer? Why do we have to feel so much pressure to be nice to you when you are approaching us in public? And so we're going to have a whole show on that. And I want to get I'm trying to get a guest on there that has actually been hurt by a guy after she told him no. And so I want to get deep in that area. But I want to have some guys too. Like, if you're not willing to embarrass yourself and tell us why, isn't that, oh, I'm not interested, good enough for you, or, I have a boyfriend. Why do you come back with the so? Can I be your friend? Like, why can't the no just be good enough? And if you are an attractive woman, then you know what I'm talking about. You get that. You can go out and time yourself. Say, oh, I'm gonna go run some errands. It's gonna take me about 30 minutes. I'll be back. But it can turn into an hour because 2, 3 guys have got at you, and you don't want to be rude. So now you're talking to one guy in 1 hour for 5 minutes because you're telling him for 5 minutes that you have a boyfriend. Then you're in the next hour for another 2 minutes because this guy just like won't move past your buggy. And then now you're in the parking lot because this guy is like won't move out of your window. Like, and then so by the time you get to the next store, you're like, you have an attitude. And then that's the guy that wants to kill you, or bitch, you ain't all that anyway. So y'all, I almost want to get the Google glasses and walk around one day with them so you can see what a female goes through, because maybe it'll help you guys simmer it down a little bit. It's a lot and it can be overwhelming, but I just want to talk about that and why you guys, I want y'all's input as a man, as a male. I want your input on why you do that. And don't say you ain't never did it, because you're lying. Okay. Either when you did it when you were younger, whenever you did it, why did you do it? We want to know. And we want to tell you how it makes us feel. Can a stripper be a wife? We need to have a show about that. If you have some input on that, you want to be on the show. If you're a stripper and you're a wife, or you're a male that is married to a stripper, come on the show and tell us, yeah, how it's possible and how it's going for you. Let's see, some more shows. I would love to have some shows with DNA tests. Now, that's gonna get deep. If you know somebody, I'm only gonna do this like because I already looked at the price and everything, and we're small right now, but I'm working on a budget. Okay, we're gonna get there. But I'm gonna do a couple. I'm gonna do like 3 within the next few months. So if you hit me up, if you're the first 3 people and you need a DNA test, hit me up, because I want to do that as well on the show. Yes, I'm going to make sure it's done right too. And I'm going to go to the location of your baby daddy, so he cannot swab somebody else's mouth. I'm going to swab his mouth. We're going to show all that on the show. I'm going to fly back here if it's not here in Detroit. Send it to the lab. Boop, bam, bam. And yes, we're going to pay for your DNA because that baby deserves a daddy. Okay, Maury's gone, but I'm here. No. So we're going to do that. And horrible, toxic parents, like adults that experience that when you were children. Did you get over it? Do you talk to your mom now? Would you like to talk to your mom on the show? Or, how did you get over it? Should you get over it? We're going to talk about that. So if you like to be a guest, if you experienced that, let us know. Um, should absent parents be specifically fathers, but there are some absent mothers, should they be able to still see the children? We're going to have a show about that. How has religion or the church failed you? Has some bad things happened to you in the church? I definitely have some stories about the church. So, what's your story about the church? Um, let's see. What's going too far as a step parent? Should the step parent be able to discipline your child? And if not, what do they do when your child's be misbehaving when they're with them? Should your child meet your new spouse, and how soon? Can you find love on social media, and have you? Now, I have a story about that, and I'm gonna share that with you guys when we do that show. And so, if you found love on social media to the point where you've married the person you've, would you like to come on the show? We want to hear your story. A lot of people um are looking for love on social media, but to hear some stories that are actually you know real stories that happy endings would be great. So if you're a couple that found each other on social media, come on the show and tell us your love story. We'd love to hear it. um can you be too old to dress a certain way? We definitely need to talk about that dress code, guys, and ladies too. Like, 50 something too old to have your stomach out, 60 something. But what if your stomach is flat? What if you have a six pack? Is 45 too old to be sagging your pants? We're going to have a show about that. Let's talk about it. Let's get deep. You might not like the subject, but you might need to hear this. Um, where can you go back from being gay or bisexual to being straight? We got a lot of that going on, and they're open about it, and there's a lot of women accepting that. And so, do you believe that? Yeah, I know most people will call in and say, yeah, if you're a girl, but what about the guys? So, yeah, what is your opinion on that? If you like to be a guest, or if you've done that, you've had a stage where you were gay, bisexual, and you outgrew that stage. I actually have a friend on Facebook. I want to ask her. She wants to come on my show, but I want to ask her journey in coming out of being gay. And again, do you guys think that's possible? Um, yeah, she's actually a pastor now. I want to ask her some questions. She went deep. She got married and had a baby with her. So I want to ask her some questions. Who better yet than to answer them? Um, should a man have the right to tell a woman to abort or keep a child? We got to talk about that. Should whites adopt black kids, and should blacks adopt white kids? This is a big topic. Okay, if you've adopted another race, I want to hear the backlash and the stuff that you went through as an adoptive parent of another race. And if you would like to call in on any of these topics when we're having the show, some of these shows will be live, and there will be a link for you guys to click to where you can tap in and give your opinion and or questions to the guests. And so, again, if you'd like to be a guest on the show for any of these topics, comment and or inbox me on one of my social medias, and we'll get you on the show. We got another show I would like to do. I got a couple artists, but I need more. Can you rap, or should you wrap it up? Because some of y'all think y'all good at this, and you don't have real friends. Okay, because if you were my friend, some of you, I would tell you to wrap it up. Okay, especially, I mean, just because of the age, and because it's not, I would definitely not play it in my car. So, maybe our viewers can help you with that. We're not trying to crush your dream, but there could be other things that you can do in that industry. And so you might be wasting your time. Like, you can write raps or, engineer. There's so many things you can do. So you might just need to hear from people that are willing to be honest with you, constructively criticize you, that, um, is he funny or is it a rap, honey? Like, we're gonna have a show about you being funny. Are you a comedian? I got a few comedians that are all also willing to come on, but I would like to get a few more before we do the show. And they're gonna do a couple minutes of stand up, and you guys are gonna be the people to decide if they are funny or not. Be nice, you guys. When you call in, be nice, but do give an honest opinion. You're gonna be my judges. Hopefully, you're not like Simon. Okay. Um, can they sing or are they making our ears ring? Okay, you're gonna add some humor to this because some people are gonna be a little hurt, but they need to hear this. They're wasting a lot of money, studio time, and then the time and effort that you're not working and adding to maybe somewhere else in your life. And I have friends that are producers and actually in the industry that make money in this country and in other countries, actually in the industry and all, like, worked with real people like Puff Daddy and, like, big people up there that can really help you network with people up there. So being on my show, if you are good, would be a good thing. So come on, guys, tap in, comment, like, share with people that that are artists, and invite them to the show. And if you think that there's somebody that needs to hear the truth, definitely send them this. If you're scared to tell them, we will tell them. We got you. Okay. So yeah. Home wreckers. Is there a home wrecker that you want to talk about on our show? Now, we're not going to be able to use names, but it's going to be like an anonymous letter, right? Talk about, are you the home wrecker? Are you doing something like, you're dating a married man, and do you want advice on how to get out the situation, or just our advice, period? Like, do you think that he's going to leave? All that type of shit. We want you to write in, tell us your situation. Okay. We got all kinds of shit to talk about here on the Deep for the Week. But if there's anything you would like to talk about, I've had people inbox me and they've talked about, they suggested that we talk about some stuff that I don't think we can even talk about yet. I got to do my research, but there's so much more. And if there's anything you want to talk about on the show, interracial dating, there's so much. The stuff that's going on in schools, politics, let us know. Inbox us, comment, like, share with the people that you think would like to talk about these things, and let's get deep. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you watching on some of these shows and maybe even be a guest. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And again, thanks for all your previous support on the Deep for the Week show. I am your host, Kali, and I hope to see you on the next show, Deep for the Week.